I'm sorry I had to steal something from Philly.500. Packers are 0-3. Yeah, that's a great take. Let's bring our boys in. The great Mark Holmes and the champ, Philly.500. How you doing, champ?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. Looking good. I'm good. How are you?
All good here. So let me start with you, Philly. According to Howard Eskin, Howard's saying that just a little bit north of 10 million. Nick Sirianni, the highest paid coaches are 20, 18, 16, 16, 16. And Howard said he's handsomely above. And from what I'm being told, it's 14.5. What's your takeaway on that he's not in the top 6 highest paid coaches with a 700 win percentage?
I call bullcrap.
You think Howard's lying?
I think he's wrong. I think what does he mean north of 10 million? $20 million is north of 10 million. $30 million is north of 10 million. Well, so
that's a pretty big reach. That's a pretty big reach. Don't you think he would have said just shy of 20?
It is Howard Eskin. I don't know. I don't know. To me, let's see what the numbers are. Now, for argument's sake, let's say that you're right. What does that mean? That means the Eagles got a good deal. Maybe the coach wanted to stay in Philly. I mean, I don't know.
I do think the years matter, Philly.
Fine.
Philly, I think if you gave a guy 4 years, I think that matters, right?
Yeah, sure.
Let me go over to you, Mark.
Oh, me? Oh, I was hoping you guys were just going to fight this week again.
No. There ain't no fight. This is what we call combo.
I was enjoying that because
only Cowboy fans fight. Okay, Cowboy fans fight. We have debates here because this is what we do. So I got a question for you. Dak Prescott's entering his 10th year.
Mm-hmm.
In your eyes, Dak Prescott, has he overachieved or underachieved?
You know, I was sitting there listening to Xander. Xander sounded like a Cowboy fan, passionate right there, talking about Dak Prescott and basically saying that he's a choker. But you pointed out something about Tony Romo. Tony Romo, undrafted rookie free agent, sat on the bench for a couple of years. Sean Payton liked him. And when you look at him, you can say, well, he didn't win the big one, but he wasn't really expected to be. There were everybody that passed him up. You can say the same thing about Dak Prescott being a 4th-round pick, that he's actually overachieved for what he's done. Now, am I satisfied that we don't have an NFC championship or a Super Bowl ring? I am not. I am not at all. But I look at it and say, I think you're right about the organizational issues with the Cowboys. When you look at it and say, Eagle fans, y'all all think, Jalen Hurts, he'll win a Super Bowl anywhere. I don't think so. If he doesn't have the supporting cast around him like he has, where he only has to throw 18 TDs, that's Troy Aikman-esh. Troy Aikman had 1 year that he threw over 20 TDs. Why? Because he had Emmitt Smith. He had a great wall of Dallas. He had a great defense. I don't know that Troy Aikman wins 3 Super Bowls if he's on a team that doesn't have all that. And I think that's the same thing you have to look at with Jalen Hurts. No disrespect. You've got to have a quarterback who can play in the moments, but they're not asking him to do every single thing. The Cowboys, it's like, well, we're going to do more with less. We literally say we're going to do more with less. You cannot win the Super Bowl winning with less.
I'm gonna make a point here to both of you here. Winning a Super Bowl MVP, there's 20 guys who have won Super Bowl MVPs that have no shot at making it to the Hall of Fame. But do you know that 98% of the people that have won the MVP award for the regular season are in Canton? I made a comment yesterday. Do you think it's tougher to win an MVP award playing consistent for 6 months? Or do you think it's more impressive for a quarterback to play 60 minutes? I think what Josh Allen did, I think winning a regular season MVP is more difficult than winning a Super Bowl MVP. I've seen guys play for 60 minutes in their life. I've seen Dexter Jackson have a great Super Bowl and never heard of him again. I mean, you think Nick Foles is going to Canton? He had a great Super Bowl. Other than that, that guy's had a way mediocre NFL career. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, look, Super Bowls, do you know that every quarterback that's the highest paid quarterback, the top 10 guys, not one of them have won a Super Bowl? Players aren't paid on Super Bowl wins. They're paid on ability. And facts are, that's not an opinion. Look at the numbers on how people get paid. So, again, Philly, I mean, I want to get your take on Dak.
I want to know Mark's what his answer was, though. What
do you
was
think
it?
he
overachieved
Mark?
or underachieved? I didn't get a clear answer.
How many teams passed on him? And the Cowboys literally didn't want Dak. They wanted Paxton Lynch. And then they tried to go ahead and get Connor Cook. It was kind of like, we'll just get Dak. And it wasn't like they drafted him and thought that he was going to be. He was the fourth string quarterback.
So
Dak one rep in OTAs a game. It ended up being Kellen Moore broke his ankle. Jamil Showers, they found out, well, let's make him a cornerback. And it was like, well, he's the next guy here. That's all we got. And it ended up being that he actually took it and actually played.
Well, wait, Mark, to Philly's point here, okay, the Patriots also passed Brady 5 times. So let me ask you again, do you believe that Dak Prescott has a starting quarterback? He's entering his 10th. This is 10 football seasons.
10 years. Now,
10 years he's entering.
Are we going to compare what the New England Patriots do to what the
No, I'm asking what you as a Cowboy fan are looking at. Do you think he's over or underachieved heading into his
actually overachieved for a 4th round draft pick?
There you go.
Against the Cowboys organization that hasn't done dick in 30 years. If the Cowboys were winning Super Bowls on a regular and then they got Dak Prescott and then all of a sudden we just couldn't do shit, then I'd say, yeah, it's Dak Prescott. But we're still doing the same stuff that we've been doing for the last 30 years. If anything, you actually have to look at it and say they had 3 years in a row that they were 12-5 and made the playoffs. They didn't do that at any other point in the last 30 years.
What do you make of your take?
He's underachieved. He's underachieved. Listen, when he comes out as a rookie early in his career, he was overachieving to get into the starting role, become a starter. But when you get the big straddle, when you get paid the way he gets paid, at that point, everything changes. You're no longer a 4th round pick. You're a franchise quarterback. And he did not live up to it. He has not lived up to it. And you are right. It is very hard to be an MVP, to go out in the league and win an MVP every year. I don't disagree with you there. I don't disagree with you.
I can give you actually a better example here. Because,
you know what, though? Wait a minute, Mark. I think what Philly said there just changed my mind. I think that people get under and overdrafted all the time. Do we not agree? Like if Jalen Hurts were to go right now, Jalen would be a 1st round pick. So he was underdrafted. He's right. When that bag of money hits the table, doesn't all that shit go away?
All goes away.
All of a sudden now because the expectation, when you gave him that $50 million deal, right? Didn't or $45 million deal annually? Didn't that change that 4th round? That's no longer a 4th round guy because the expectations every year that Dak has been paid big money at one time or another. This is the 2nd time he's been the highest paid quarterback in the league.
No, he wasn't the first time.
That 45 million.
Nope.
He was
one of them.
40 million.
One of them. He was one of them.
The 60, he still is. And if you're a quarterback right now, you're saying, keep me under the 60 because I don't want to have that heat. That's why everybody is. You'll be there for a while.
Philly said, listen, Philly's right. When that bag of money hits the table, dude, like it does for Hurts, that shit's changed that 2nd round.
I hear you, but let me give you 2 examples.
He will not hold Dak Prescott accountable.
No,
this is what this guy does all the time for 10 years.
Take Russell Wilson when he won the Super Bowl. Do you think that he was a great quarterback when they won the Super Bowl with Marshawn Lynch and that #1 defense? He actually got better. He ended up throwing 40+ TDs on a regular. and was basically done in the playoffs. Now, are we saying that he got to be a worse quarterback as he got older because he wasn't winning Super Bowls anymore?
Roster
Or was it
got
the
worse.
team? Or was it the team not the same and not having the running game? Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish now. And you can look at Tom Brady. When Tom Brady first started winning Super Bowls, that defense was elite. Now, as he got older, his numbers got to be better and better and better, and it ended up being they were winning because of Tom Brady. Or if you take an Aaron Rodgers, when he won a Super Bowl, they had the number 3 defense, and he had 4 great wide receivers that were there. But yet he got to be a better and better quarterback, winning MVPs, but they weren't winning anything else. So are we saying that Aaron Rodgers was a loser because he wasn't winning Super Bowls later? Or are we saying that he didn't have the same team that he had winning the first ones?
I think Aaron Rodgers underachieved. Go ahead, Philly.
He underachieved, but you're talking about two different things. You're talking about guys that actually showed that they could go into a playoff game, win a playoff game, go to an NFC Championship game, win an NFC Championship game, then win a Super Bowl. Then you want to hold Dak Prescott up to those guys' levels. You can't, because he's never done it once.
Did you see that Super Bowl with the Colts?
Never done it
and
once.
How quickly that defense literally destroyed Peyton Manning in Denver? Did they win that Super Bowl because
when Manning lost with Denver when he couldn't throw anymore at the end of his career?
I'm talking about the Seattle Seahawks going through and literally bludgeoning them.
Yeah, but
was
Peyton Manning. I will argue Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl.
Okay.
2, Peyton Manning also underachieved in the playoffs. If you look at Peyton Manning, he was an underachiever in the playoffs. Right. He was a great regular season, probably the best regular season quarterback ever.
No,
he can't deal with it.
Listen,
Bills.
wait a minute.
He can't deal with that Dak Prescott.
Let me ask you something here.
It don't compute.
Mark, Peyton Manning's record is 14-13 in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't like this guy. I mean, and there's been very few guys that have great records in the postseason. I'm not dismissing, everyone's under the assumption. You know how many quarterbacks in the NFC currently right now have a winning record that are active right now? There's one. It's Hurts. The rest of them are all under 500. Every guy. Russell Wilson's 9-8 in the playoffs. Okay? I mean, Aaron Rodgers is 12-11. I mean, everyone's under the assumption that you have a great records. Troy Aikman has a great record, obviously, but for me, again, I think people get blinded by, when I look at Dak, I look at him and I say, this guy as a player, maybe this is my wrong here, Philly. I look at a guy who was not supposed to be a starter. But Philly's right. When that bag of money hits the table, there's an expectation that all of a sudden that draft shit goes away.
Mm-hmm.
That making $60 million. He's no longer a 4th-round pick. That guy is the highest paid guy. Bro, you got to deliver. This is year 10. Don't you think he's underachieved in that role as the Dallas Cowboy starting quarterback? Because, again, if you're paying him.
I hear what you're saying. But when I look at the shit that we did, for example, last year, when I look at the Cowboys that aren't Howie Roseman-esque, that say, hey, let's go get the best running back. And I have a bunch of guys that go get a spent Zeke and Dalvin freaking Cook. Okay? When you guys say, you know what? Let's go ahead. We're not sure if our quarterback's good, but we're going to find out by going out and getting A.J. Brown. Now, I'm going to say this year, going out and getting George Pickens, that's a major move. He's got 2 weapons. I'm going to say you don't have excuses this year that you don't have players there. Would I like to have a better running back? Yeah, I'd probably have somebody a little younger than Sanders. And I would love to have had Derrick Henry last year. But you can't compare a team that's literally saying we're going to go only as far as Dak Prescott can take us and literally put nothing out there.
Mark, this guy's laughing at you.
It's not the first time, and it won't be the last.
It's so ridiculous at this point. You can talk all the common sense you want.
Okay, hold on.
Wait, you cannot do it. You cannot say it.
Philly.
You cannot say it.
Philly.
What?
If you still had Rhaegar as your wide receiver as opposed to A.J. Brown, and you still had Miles Sanders, are you winning the freaking Super Bowl?
Well, I can tell you this. If
Why?
Mike Quarterback's in a position to win the game, he's going to win the game. I'll tell you that.
What?
But see, this is what the thing. This is what he's doing. He's talking Jalen Reagor, right? And he didn't have Jalen Reagor. He had Amari Cooper. He had CeeDee Lamb. He had the year he threw 37 touchdowns.
And got
Come on, you blame everybody else. Stop blaming everybody.
Bro.
Look, Donovan McNabb could not win the big game. And I'm a Donovan McNabb fan, and I can say it.
Okay. All right.
Donovan McNabb choked. He was a choker. I love him. But he was a choker.
How about this?
This guy can't admit it.
Philly, the tush push.
Yeah, baby.
It's back another year. Every single team in the NFC East.
Yeah, no hope for the
Get
Cowboys.
rid of that shit.
Okay.
2 votes short.
The Cowboys wanted it banned. The Commanders wanted it banned. And the New York Giants wanted it banned. How do you feel about it living on for another year?
I love it. I love it. It's great. Great news. They should pay. Green Bay should pay. Buffalo should pay. Dallas should pay. They all need to pay. And let me tell you, I don't want to see Buffalo use it. Don't go out there, their head coach talking about, well, players are getting injured and stuff like that. And I don't want to put my players in that position. Don't use it then. Don't use it at all. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Green Bay use it. I don't want to see Buffalo use it. And I want to destroy those teams. I hate them teams.
How about this, Mark, for you? Do you think it's a football play? And do you think, hey, a lot of people think the play should be banned because it's not a football play. Even the commissioner, by the way, the commissioner hates the play. How do you feel about the tush push?
You know what? I feel I hate to say this, but I'm actually on your guys' side because just because y'all came up with something that other people can't stop, it's up for everybody else to stop it. Now, on the flip side of this, though, if we're talking about being able to push people on one side of the ball, you should be able to push on the other side, because years ago it used to be, and I can't remember which team it was, but they would push a guy in the gap to block the extra points. But they said you cannot push another player.
That's a leverage play, right?
Right. It's a leverage. So if you're going to say it's okay to push in the tush, then let them push as far as the leverage goes. Fair is fair.
All right. I got a question for both of you here. So what are you planning, both of you, for the opener on September 4th when it comes to Dallas? Hey, and by the way, let me start with you, Mark. Can you imagine you roll in maybe a 7-point underdog heading into that?
There, 7 point. The over and under is 46.5. I'm looking at
7-point underdog, and you pull off the upset.
I've seen it.
The opener. Look at Philly almost just swallowed his agita there. Hey, you tell me, how are you feeling about that game heading into that opener? Do you feel you have a shot to win that thing?
Well, my team got nothing to lose. Nobody expects us to do anything. Nothing. And my team actually can sit here and listen to them being shit on and hopefully taking it and turning it into something. You go in there playing lose. We got nothing to lose, man. But if you're the Eagles, hold on. If you're the Eagles and you lose that one, and then you look at the next couple of games after that, they're saying, oh, the Eagles could start off 1-3. How about they start off 0-4?
Philly, he's saying there's a shot you can start because you got Rams and
I got one thing planned for that game. One thing. Pain. In the words of Mr. T, pain. That's right. We're going to put that banner up, and the Cowboys are going to feel a lot of pain. All right. And listen, he can downplay. Oh, we'd have nothing to play for. Your quarterback's playing for his legacy. He's 10 years in this league. He's done nothing. And you're going to tell me he can just go stroll in there and it's okay to just get your ass kicked? Nobody expects anything. That's why the Cowboys lose, because their fans don't expect anything really. Their ownership doesn't expect anything really. They don't hold their own players accountable. They can't even be honest about their own quarterbacks. It's different. This is why we win.
So are you guaranteeing?
That's the way it is.
Are you guaranteeing that you're winning
You're
that game?
You're not going to get me in the. You're not getting me in the game. I ain't playing the game, so I'm not guaranteeing. I only guarantee stuff that I can control. I'm not guaranteeing anything.
Hold it. You're talking a whole lot of shit. Why don't you back it up?
Are you guaranteeing Dak Prescott will win a Super Bowl?
Cowboys could actually win that game, because you're not man enough to say my team will win that game.
Wait. Man enough.
That's it. I'm questioning your man enough.
Sat there deflecting Dak Prescott.
Listen. We know the Cowboys are the losers.
20 minutes.
They're the greatest team of all time here.
You're talking about manning up. You can't even man up and speak the truth about that.
Bro.
You're gonna call me out?
You are Super Bowl champions. Super Bowl champions playing at home.
That's right.
Revealing your banner, and you're telling me that you will not guarantee that your team will trick a choking dog team like the Dallas Cowboys?
Trying to bait me into a guarantee.
Prescott,
I wasn't born yesterday.
Oh,
I wasn't born yesterday. You ain't baiting
it was last night.
This is for you here, Mark. I don't want to hear any more excuses when you acknowledge you have 2 number 1 receivers, a 1 and a 2. You can't hype up their offense and then make excuses later on. All on Dak now. Do you agree with this?
It's getting there. Yes. Right now, having 2 number 1s, if the Cowboys make a couple more moves, then there's no excuses. Although,
how do you feel about what's that?
Let's hear the although.
Let's
hear the although. I want to hear the although.
No, here's the thing. You've got a brand new coach, first year, whole new coaching staff, and you're now bringing in all of these players. It's going to take some time to figure out what we're doing and get to know everybody. There is a learning curve. Now, I will say, I look at this and I say the Cowboys are actually very fortunate the way this whole thing sets up. I think the best thing that actually happens to them is that the Eagles are early. The reason I say that is nobody knows exactly what the Cowboys may be doing. We're going to be new, okay? We'll be healthy. We know basically what the Eagles are and what they're going to do. You're going to be facing a team that's got nothing to lose. You just are.
What do you make of
the Cowboys haven't beaten you guys before?
What do you make of this? And I'll get Philly's take on this. So Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb talking shit on Quinyon Mitchell. Guantanamo Bay, they started laughing, and I don't know. There's a part of me that likes it because it's bravado and it leads to the rivalry. There's a part of me that says, well, September 4th, man, you better show your ass up. You're talking shit on Quinyon Mitchell. Is that a good thing or bad thing heading into this game?
If you're going to talk the talk,
okay,
walk the walk, as Jimmy Johnson would say. So you better back it up. Tyler Booker, you wanted Jalen Carter, you got him week 1. You better do something with it. You done put your ass out there and said some shit. You didn't a CD? Well, actually, it wasn't CD. Micah Parsons put CD out there on blast. Hey, you got to go out there and do it. So don't start writing checks and letting those mother humpers bounce. Me, I'm not usually one that likes to talk a whole lot of stuff. I let my play on the field do it for me. But we've heard this thing about Dallas Cowboys are soft, that they got a culture issue. Well, you know what? Bring back some of that Jimmy Johnson-esque bravado.
What do you make of that, Philly? Philly, that kind of adds to the rivalry a little. The Cowboys it was a horrible year for them last year. Now they go into this game. Believe it or not, the Cowboys go into this game, I think, with a identity crisis here. They got to figure out who they are. The Eagles know who they are, so they're trying to build something up here. Now, look, do I think that's smart going in and are you prepared to fight like that in that game on the 4th? Do you like it or do you not like it? Because I think it adds a little bit to it. But if they're not ready, man, that Eagle team can beat that Cowboy team if they're not ready by 20.
I love it. Are you kidding? I love that kind of stuff. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it gets me fired up. I'm talking about the one catch he had for 5 yards versus Guantanamo Bay last year. So I love this stuff. I
45 yards passing in the whole game, bro.
That's
45 yards the whole game.
That's Jerry Jones. What are you gonna do?
Oh,
the Dallas Cowboys.
Freaking rush, bro.
They didn't put a quarterback. They didn't do this. They didn't do that.
Okay. All right.
He stinks.
So
right,
let's
Dak wasn't there, right? The great Dak wasn't there. But now that the great Dak is there,
beat by 20 points is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
That they've got no chance because they're choking dogs and they suck.
Now, this is regular season.
We're going to
Philly, this is regular season.
Right, yeah. Dak does put up numbers in the regular season and chokes and disappears when the playoffs come. That's for sure. Will we see that again? I don't know.
I got a question for you, Philly. Couple last ones here for you guys. Who is the one player, in your opinion, you can't lose this coming season? Jalen Hurts or Saquon Barkley?
I think that if you lose Saquon, I think you got problems. He's so good. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I think he's going for 2K again. I think it's going to be the first player in NFL history to do it. I just got this feeling. So I would say probably Saquon.
You're going to give that guy 400 more carries?
I don't think you should, but I think they're going to. I think that it's going to happen. I think he's getting at least 300 carries this year.
Yeah.
That would be only.
I know. I think we're in a weird. I think it's a weird window. I'm just telling you. I just got a gut feeling, man. He's going for 2K again. I got a weird feeling about it.
Mark, what do you think? The Eagles, Saquon Barkley or Hurts?
Saquon, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Why?
That running game set up everything else. See, people don't seem to understand the difference, okay? A couple of years ago, everybody was going back through, you don't pay running backs and everything else. You've actually seen the reinvention of running backs and running games. Balanced offense matters, okay? It does. You can say it doesn't all you want, but when a team has to worry about that running back going all the way like Saquon, and you have to put 8 men in the box, it takes so much pressure off your quarterback. Now, I'm not wishing Saquon gets injured, but I'd like to see the Eagles have to win or lose with just Jalen Hurts' arm.
Here. You mean like the Super Bowl?
Here.
They put 8 men in the box because they were going to make sure that Saquon didn't stop them.
And you know what? The truth is, you know what? I'm going to say this also. The Eagles got one of the best lines I've seen since the 90s Cowboys. They have also, no matter who's been their running back, been able to run the ball. So
yes,
so maybe, just maybe it's Jalen Hurts. I'm just saying, the Eagles will run the ball on you no matter who it is. Now, when you put a great dynamic running back like Barkley, then you get 2,000 yards. But just because if Barkley's not in there, something happens, the Eagles are very capable of still being a very effective offense, and you're still going to have to put 8 men in a box regardless because that team can run the ball on anybody with pretty much any running back.
How about this? What you're suggesting is that over 2 years, they're going to give that guy 720 carries.
That's a lot of carries.
For a 28-year-old back.
I know it's a lot, but I'm just telling you what I got a gut feeling. Dude's going for 2K again. I don't know why.
Do you
think it would come down?
Do you feel pretty good about that because of the O-line? And that the O-line can, because again, one thing, Mark, I'll tell you, we had Brian Westbrook on our program a couple months ago. You know what he said? He's like this: Barkley's not getting hit by D tackles,
He doesn't get hit
linebackers.
3-4 years.
He's
yards
getting
down
hit
the
by
field.
safeties because
Right.
those guys are blowing such big holes. Remember when Dak was doing exceptionally well and the offensive line was blowing up guys? He was second and third level back there running over running backs and such, right? I mean, DBs and safeties. That's kind of what is that not kind of what you're thinking there, Philly? Is that,
Yeah,
that
kind
old
of.
line is really going to give him the ability
Right.
to.
Well, yeah, that's my point, is that they're going to take advantage of that O-line. I think you gave them all that money. I think over the next 2 years, I think Barkley's in the prime of his life. I think this is his best years. And I don't know, man. I just got a feeling like they're willing to do it again if they have to. They may go into the season not wanting to do it, but when he starts running the ball, breaking 50-yard runs, it's pretty hard not to keep giving him the ball.
All right, Mark, finally here. Mark, are you feeling a little better about like your off season now? Are you feeling better about the upcoming season? Do you see 10 wins plus? Depending again, and I say this to you, Mark, in all seriousness, the war of attrition, you have to have the Eagles had a great 53-man roster, not just the front 22. They had guys like Burks and Isaiah Rodgers and guys that could step in, and there were no drop-off. How are you feeling about this roster? Because right now, the things you do now, the payoffs in September and October, have you done enough in your opinion right now? Do you think there's another move? How are you feeling right now with the moves that they've made or maybe not made, and continuing with the talent that they had on the roster, just getting healthy? How do you feel?
I feel much better this year than I did last year. The thing that I like at least about the Cowboys is we were going into training camp where we only had some positions, 2 guys, where we didn't actually have a full roster of players. And they're literally looking for players in training camp, after training camp, and the waiver wires to try and fill out the roster. The Cowboys have actually worked in getting better depth than what they've had. You're not going to necessarily see the big name free agents, but collectively they've got players that have experience that will be good. When they go out and get a George Pickens at this point, who's now actually has OTAs, mini camp, and training camp, it's going to be huge for the team. Getting those guys in here and literally having those guys working right now. They've got over a 92% players showing up, veterans showing up for their OTAs, and that's huge. Micah Parsons the last 2 years did not show up for OTAs. Did not. He's there every single day. He's in the middle of a contract dispute and all that, but you're getting some really good energy with this team, and I think they're going to be better than what people think. I don't know how good they'll be because it's still everybody's new, coaching staff and players and all that, but I definitely say they'll be better than they were last year.
Philly, you had a lot of changes. And again, it's hard to maintain. I don't care what anybody says. I think this, Philly, it's harder to stay on top of the mountain than it is actually to climb to the top of the mountain when you're talking about being a championship football team. It's hard to stay up there and be competitive each and every single year. Now, do you believe that this organization has taken a step lateral? Do you think they've taken a step back with the uncertainty of the players that have to fill in? How are you feeling right now? And like I always tell people, where have the Eagles gotten better? It's hard to get better from almost perfection on what you did in the NFC title game and Super Bowl. So it's a kind of a loaded question. How do you feel where you are right now with the question marks here on May 21st?
I feel great. I feel great. And here's the thing. You've got yes, you've had some losses with Sweat and Milt Williams. I like some of these young guys, and I like that I think they got the talent to replace them eventually. Maybe it'll start off slow, maybe it'll take a little while, but I think by the end of the year, by the time we get to playoffs, I think guys like Jalix Hunt, Nolan Smith, I think they're going to be rocking and rolling. But here's the thing. I think Howie Roseman's 2 years ahead of the league. All right. If you look at the league, you look at the Eagles' schedule, you tell me look at all those teams and those teams' ability to stop the run. This league is not built to stop the run. The Eagles have been very smart. They've built a team that is going to basically wear you down by the fourth quarter. And most of these teams can't stop the run. I think the Eagles are playing different chess to everybody else's checkers. And it's going to take the league a whole nother year. Then everybody's going to want to go out and get a running back like the Eagles. They're going to worry about stopping the run. But I think that these teams, like, you can look at the schedule. The teams we're playing, they can't stop the run. Problem with Dallas, you can't win. If you can't run the ball and you can't stop the run, you can't win. And I don't think many of these teams can stop the Eagles and what they're going to do. That means, to me, the Eagles are going to be pretty much winning every game by the fourth quarter. I expect most of the time teams to be worn down. And any deficiencies that we have on defense that, we might have lost, I think will be made up and hidden because of that. So I feel pretty good.
You want to, hey, Mark, you want to hear something crazy on what he said? I looked at this the other day on the air, that the majority of the teams that the Eagles have on their schedule this year, 11 of those teams are ranked in the 20s, 18, 16, 21, 29, like 14, and stopping the run. He's right with this. This league is set up because why? They're paying receivers and they're paying quarterbacks, right? And they're paying corners. I mean, look at every team in the league. I don't think there's any coincidence that the really good football teams have great linebacker play. Yeah. I think the Eagles won the Super Bowl because of the linebacker play they had a year ago.
Yeah.
I think, look at Detroit. They got good linebacker play. Look at what Baltimore. They got good linebacker play. Even Kansas City. If you can't cover tight ends and backs out of the backfield in today's NFL and play the run, you're
Right.
Yep.
And you want to talk about where they're better. I think they're deeper at running back. So they're going to bring in a fullback now. They're bringing in a fullback now. They bring in A.J. Dillon, and they got another year with Will Shipley. I actually think they're built where those three guys can all run the ball. I think they're going to be wearing teams down by the fourth quarter. Howie is a year ahead of everybody. When everybody said the running game is dead, Howie said, I'm going to go to it. And now everybody's going to have to scramble to adjust. Teams build their defenses on stopping the pass and getting the quarterback. They can't stop the run. That's why the Eagles are going to be so much better than everybody else.
Hey, Mark, Booker didn't say he wanted Jalen Carter, did he?
Oh, he did. Yeah.
He said he looks forward to playing him.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Well, hey, let me circle. Hang on, let me circle that.
Yeah, go ahead.
A rookie wants to take on that kid.
I'm going to tell you right now, you better not lose that game, Philly. You better not lose that game.
You're telling yourself that.
I'm just saying, I got nothing to lose, man.
I'm not to lose. Your quarterback's legacy, 10 years.
Howie Roseman is a year ahead of everybody. We go 3 deep at running backs, and we can run the hell out of it. That our offensive line is the best in the business, and yet you can't guarantee that you're going to win the Super Bowl.
Is our offensive line not the best?
Bro,
that's like running back not the best?
That's like saying I'm not getting laid on my wedding night.
I'm not saying anything out of tune.
Bro. This is the honeymoon.
You see what I deal with more with
You're supposed to be making babies.
You see what I deal with this guy.
I just got married. I might get laid. I hope I get laid.
This guy's a lunatic.
You got married.
He avoids stuff with that all thing. Now he wants to hold me accountable, make me. He's trying to get me to guarantee.
I will say this.
So you know what he wants to do, Sills, right? He wants me to guarantee on here so he could go make 5 videos getting all his Cowboys little subscribers all up. Oh, Eagle fans.
How many videos you made me fall out the chair,
I know
bro?
how you think. I wasn't born yesterday. I'm 3-4 steps ahead of you. I'm Howie Roseman of YouTube, baby. Don't you know that?
Howie Roseman of YouTube. Okay.
Well, he'll go make a video about that now. You watch. Okay. But Dak's not a choker. Dak, nothing's his fault. He's never done anything wrong.
You're scared, you're scared, man.
Never had anything. I've got nothing to lose going into that game. I can say, hey, I can say that. I have nothing to lose Mark. I just won a championship.
Yes, you did.
I'm a Super Bowl champion. What do I need to win this game for? Then what do I need to win this game as much as you do? Your quarterback hasn't ever done shit.
Hey, wait, he's setting you up, Philly. Philly, don't you see?
I know. Yeah, I know he is. And that's why I'm not buying into it.
But just, we suck. We're no good. We have no shot.
That's what everybody says.
We're no good.
Yeah. They got my quarterback on Pro Football Focus ranked as 17th. They've got like Geno Smith and Trevor Lawrence rated ahead of him. Yeah.
Wait, PFF has Dak ranked 17th?
Yes.
That's
17.
What do they have Hurts?
Hurts, it's Hurts, I think, is like 4. No, 5. They have Hurts.
It must be top ranked quarterbacks that don't choke. That's probably what the ranking is.
No, it's Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson.
Dude, Dak Prescott threw 37 touchdowns, was a #1 seed. I think he's the only quarterback in history that's lost as a 1 seed, lost as a 2 seed. I mean, look, Stills, you talk about the MVP, and okay, the MVP of the Super Bowl is only 1 game. I agree with you in that, but Dak Prescott can't be held to that standard of Russell Wilson. He can't be held to the standard of Nick Foles or Jalen Hurts because he hasn't won games in the playoffs. He's never done it. Guys like Aaron Rodgers have done it. He should have done it more, but he's at least done it once. Dak hasn't, and Dak should have. And Dak had good teams. And Dak had teams that should have gone to the Super Bowl. And he choked.
You guys have been spectacular.
Boy,
I can't
That's
wait.
like being diddied.
Hey, wait a minute. Get this. It's like less than 100 days to that game.
It's 106 days, 3 hours, 5 minutes, and 30 seconds.
Oh, you got a countdown clock.
I got a countdown clock, man. I'm watching that mother humper every single day. I
love that. You have a countdown clock. I'm going to ask you to put that up.
Yeah, he's counting down another ass beating. That's what he's counting down. Count down another ass beating.
And watch this. If Dak wins that game, he's 10-4 versus the Eagles.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, isn't it amazing that the Cowboy fans love to throw the 9-4 against the Eagles? But then when you talk about his 2 playoff wins in 10 years, they don't want nothing to do with that. Oh, that doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. Back in the 90s, man. Back in the 90s, people cared about playoffs and winning big games.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys. You guys, thank you. You guys are so great. Make sure you check out the legendary Mark Holmes, how he covers the Dallas Cowboys. How many videos, Philly, today will he put out there that that's
6?
This is unfair, PFF.
6. It's 6 today, but if I would have guaranteed, it would have been about 15. But he tried to bait me.
I'm not going to put myself out there and risk it. Just say that.
I know what you want me to guarantee it so you can make videos against me. It's like the whole thing with the secondary. I said the Eagles secondary would be better than Dallas secondary last year. He went and did all these videos. They held emergency live streams. Philly.500 said the Eagles got a better secondary. I know what he's doing. I know what he's doing.
I got it. Philly, tell the folks how they can find you, big man. Don't forget
Philly.500.
Philly.500. Also, Champ, too, right?
Yeah, Champ. You could look up Champ or how to polish Super Bowl rings, whatever. They'll come right up.
Guys, I appreciate you guys so much. You don't know, man. And you should see. Hey, wait a minute, Philly, before I let him go, I text him. He goes, yeah, typical Cowboy fan like this. Look, yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that he goes, that'll work. I mean, Philly's like this. Sills, it's always awesome coming on with you, man. I love coming on with you. Here's Philly. Here's Mark. Let me check here. I got to check with my schedule here. And that'll work. You wrote that. You're looking at it now. You go, yeah, that'll work.
Oh, no.
Did you not write that?
No. Actually, but my daughter sent me this text that's kind of crazy. He said that they're posting pictures from the Diddy trial, and some of the sex workers said, he was my next door neighbor. Just like, how? It's like, oh, shit.
Oh, my God. They're posting pictures?
Posting pictures of the sex
You
work.
better pray Dak don't show up on that.
Hey, Philly, there'll be 700 videos if that's the case.
Better hope Dak don't show up on that.
Hold on. This is a true story here. I wanted to go to that game. I want to go to that game really bad. And I said, Philly, it would break the internet if you and I went to that game together. He's like, man, I don't fly. He's like, I don't fly. I said, I will fly out to California and I will drive your ass across the country so we can go to that game. Did I or did I not?
Hey, Philly, you know what I'm working on? Wait a minute, guys. You know what I'm working on?
I do hate flying.
I'm working on a Morgan & Morgan suite for that Cowboy game for an event.
Oh, that's cool. In Philly?
In Philly. Dropping of the banner. I've been asked. John's coming on in a little bit here. And I've been asked. They got a box. They got a corporate box there at Lincoln Financial. So
and Mark said, I'll drive you. I said there's a better chance that we drive than me flying. So maybe
I'll do it. Can you imagine how many videos I would do going cross country with Philly.500 a day?
I know we never get there. We never get there. Every 2 hours, I'll kill them. I'll ring his neck. I'm not pulling over again.
Yeah, I'd be sitting in the box, and you guys would still be in Dallas. And you'd be watching the game in Dallas.
You look at the scenic route. I'll kill him. I tell you, I won't be able to put up with it.
I got it, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you fellas so much, man. Again, legendary guys who I enjoy having on the program here. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you, man. That's just great stuff. Yeah, I'm actually working on trying to get something set up, Morgan & Morgan, when it comes to the corporate box there at Lincoln Financial. So we could talk about that with John Morgan because he's going to be coming up here in a minute here. Hey, I tell you what, I got to hand it to Mark, man. He comes on the program and he battles for those Cowboys. It's been 10 years, dude. Actually, it's been 30 years. These guys got to step into the game here, man. And I actually like the shit talking that the guys are doing. I do. I think that's going to bring a little fire to September 4th. I'm looking forward to it. Mark's got a countdown clock. You can't get around that. That's awesome stuff. Don't forget our great friends at Morgan & Morgan. Speaking of John, who's coming up here in a couple minutes. Number one injury law firm in America for a reason. We're over $30 billion recovered. And the number one reason they are number one is because they win. They got that $30 million settlement for the family here in Pennsylvania or down in Florida. They got $12 million. It's because they win. You know, our crime fighter, Clancy Boland, who's in Philadelphia, he absolutely is crime fighting in the city of Philadelphia. They've won case after case. Believe me, when they see Morgan & Morgan coming, they know this. Families are priority and families are number one. Do me a favor. If you're ever injured, contact my friends at Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's FOR, thepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When